Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on where you are. Hey, Alex, how are you doing?
Hey, Karina, I'm doing great. And what about you?
I'm doing good. I'm here in Brazil. It's pretty hot today, but yeah.
Oh, I'm here in Massachusetts and it's starting to get cold.
Ooh, good, good. So yeah, we have all sorts of different temperatures today, except for the content itself that is going to be hot. We are going to talk about business activity monitoring, how we can actually track our KPIs of our products using dashboards. And dashboards is one of the components of Business Central, right?
Yes, and then we have a special guest that will go and cover this content to us. That's going to be amazing.
Especially because he's one of the guys who actually commits on the code, so he knows about it a lot.
Yeah.
And without further ado, I think we should invite him, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Come join us, William.
William,
Hello,
welcome.
everyone.
Thank you for
Hello, Karina.
accepting our
Hello,
invite
Alex.
to be here today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
William, I'm pretty excited because you told me you were bringing, besides teaching us the basics, you were also bringing some news about the dashboard. So I'm pretty excited to hear more about it. But before, I know that Alex likes to ask a little bit more about the guest. So Alex, please go on, be my guest.
Yes, absolutely. I want to learn more about William. William, the first question I have so for you is how you got involved in business automation in this key community.
Yeah, it started. It's a long story. It actually started like 10 years ago when I think 15 years ago when I started doing Java programming, and then I started doing community things like every Java programmer kinds do. So but I didn't work with Java. I worked with a SAP, and it was too far away from communities. But then I applied for a job at Red Hat, and because I was very involved with community, I started work at Red Hat Support, and then in Support I started supporting RHPAM and jBPM, and then a few years later I joined engineering team.
That's fantastic.
What I like the most is that you are not only involved with the business automation community, but you are also involved with a jug, right? Here in Brazil. Are you the lead of the jug?
Yes, I'm the co-leader with Pedro and others. The guys, I think some of the guys are watching us now, and we have a jug in São Paulo, Brazil, where we talk. It's something that's come to the city, and Alex is from there as well, from the same city, and we talk a lot about Java and things around the Java world, like JavaScript as well. We have to talk about JavaScript, but we talk lately. We are been talking a lot about Quarkus.
That is pretty nice. So good. I'd like to say hi to Paulo, Javi, everyone who's in the chat. Just send us some highs, some hands up. So show us that you are here with us, watching us, enjoying the live content. Yeah. So Alex, would you like to ask something else, or can we get started?
Yeah, that's one comment. William mentioned he's from São José dos Campos. I am also from there. That's my hometown. I was born there many years ago, but it's like my family is still there. It's a lovely town. It's a really nice place to live. And you still live there, right, William?
Yes, I still live here. I live at the center of the city, at the heart of the city. And I was born here, then I went to São Paulo to work at Red Hat. Then now I live here and work from home.
But it's close, right? It's like 4 hours by car.
No, it's
Yes,
just 1 hour. From São Paulo, it's just 1 hour. It's really close.
Nice.
Okay, so and back to your point, Karina, I think we can start with our great content by William. William, floors is
Perfect.
yours.
Kalyani, Paris, everyone, hi. William, can you please put your presentation in the full screen mode? And hi from Brazil. Okay, nice. So William, please take your time. This is a nice content. We want to learn everything about it. And if we find questions on the chat, we'll bring it to you. And that's it. We'll be on the backstage, okay?
Okay, all right. So let's get started then. So today we will be talking about the dashboard capabilities in Business Central. And we also, as Karina said, we also show and discuss a lot of new things that we have been developing in the last months. I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, this is a little about me. As we are already discussed, that I'm software engineer at Red Hat. I do work with Dashbuilder, the tool that we'll be discussing today. And I love data, so I have with some colleagues we have a group that tries to retrieve open data and then show this data in different ways. So it's all about data and display data. And my GitHub is slash Jesuino. Don't ask me why Jesuino, but may find me as Jesuino in the social media. So for today, what we are going to do, we are going to talk about dashboards in Business Central, and then how to create dashboards. And at the end, we will show this new tool that we are introducing, which can be used to run dashboards specifically. And these dashboards you develop on Business Central and then run on this Dashbuilder Runtime tool. Okay, so move on. As you know, Business Central is the web application that allows you to create business processes and more. And inside Business Central, we already have dashboards. We can monitor process, we can monitor tasks, and this is very good because we don't have to do any actual configuration because it's there. Only you just have to start Business Central, and then you'll be able to see the state of your process and tasks and more. However, this is for monitoring purpose. This is not the business behind the process. It's a generic dashboard. What I want to show you today is how you can create your own dashboards inside Business Central and then export it to run in a cloud environment. Okay, so yeah, about custom dashboards. So inside Business Central, in the admin tools, we have everything we need to create our own dashboards. And these dashboards can bring more value to your business because it will allow you to, first of all, retrieve any data you want about the process execution. And mostly and more important also is that you can retrieve this data from the process execution and then cross with other source of data that you may have in your company. So the entry point for dashboards are the datasets, is how you tell Business Central and where your data is and how to retrieve it. So the dataset is the entry point. We have different source of data that is supported at the moment, but any kind of source of data can be used because we have this special one that we will show in a few minutes. It's the bin one that allows you to write Java to retrieve source from any source you want, to retrieve data from any source you want. So yeah, when you create a data set, you are able inside Business Central itself to review the data that you are retrieving, and you can also make things like cache configuration. Yes, using Business Central, you will have caching of your data for free. So for example, if you have a CSV that's in a remote server that is updated daily, you can prevent Business Central from going into that server to retrieve the data. Instead, it can cache the data, so your dashboards will be faster. And this is all a few clicks away from you. You don't have to do anything special. You just go to that advanced tab when create your data set, and you can make any cache setting. And okay, so we have the source of data, but the source of data itself is not a dashboard. So the next step is create pages where you will be able to explore this data. So, but the page itself is just, a page. So inside the page, we can add display, what we call displayers, which are pieces of the page that its goals is to go to the data set, get the data, and display in the way you want. For example, we have a lot of reporting displayers that can show the data in charts or in tables, and the displayer can access any source of data you have configured in Business Central with the previous step. But we'll see more that we can extend displayers. Another great thing about displayers is that you can put these pieces of data displaying in your page, and then these pieces can talk to each other by using filtering. So in this image we are seeing now, I am adding two different ways to display the same data, and not that one data is about the GDP of the country and the other data is about the country data like population and size and density, but these two different sources of data can talk to each other by using filtering. So um, think about it. Think about the business value that you can retrieve by running your process in Business Central, and then being able to drill down to another source of data, being able to explore different source of data. The only requirement is that you need to have the same column name. So for example, these two sources of data that are being filtered, they have the same country column name. So that's why when I click on a country, the other displayer will be able to filter. And once you figure out all your page and build it with the displays you want, then you can add it to Business Central itself by using the navigation. And the navigation is not only about how the page will be accessed by the user, but also about the navigation components, where you can make one page embed another and another. So you can design your dashboard by composing multiple pages in a single page. Okay, so this is one of the exciting news that we are bringing today. In the most recent jBPM release, you'll find that Business Central supports external components. And these external components are very exciting because you can use any web technology. Anything that runs on the web can run inside Dashbuilder. And what you have to do is just learn how to consume the data coming from Dashbuilder to display it any way you want. So in this case here, we are showing this map component created by a member of the community, Des. She created this component, and we are using it. She created with the map technology that she researched in the web, the greatest technology that she found, and then we are able to use it with the data, with real data come from our data sets. And another
Just
great
one quick question, William.
Sure.
So does it mean that I can write my own components in, like, say, React, and be able to display the content of the component that I just created in this tool? Is this correct?
Exactly. You can use React, TypeScript, and this component you can then import into Business Central to use inside your dashboards.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for clarification.
You're welcome. So we also have a growing library of components. Some components use React, others use a pure JavaScript, but the React ones can seamlessly integrate with Dashbuilder. And remember the filter that I talk about. So you can bring your own source of data, and then you can have it displayed any way you want. And also you can take advantage of the filtering capability that I talked a few minutes ago. Okay, in a few minutes I will show these components in more depth. I will demo everything here. But I know, in my opinion, this is very exciting because, as Alex said, you can use React, and you know how big is the React library out there, and how great it is to use your own components inside the Dashbuilder, inside Business Central. Okay, so once your work is done, once you create your pages, once you create your components and displayers and add to one page, you can then export them from Business Central. It will be living on a zip file that you can either import later inside Business Central again to continue your work, or you can import on Dashbuilder Runtime. And we will get into Dashbuilder Runtime in a few minutes. But first of all, I wanted to, create a dashboard with you guys. I hope everything will go fine because, it's live. So I will go here. I will grab the source of data that is on GitHub. Here's Business Central. And I will first, as I said, create a data set.
William, you know that if you have a small font size there, we won't be able to see it very well. So if you go like for that GitHub page again, maybe you should just show us what that is by increasing the font size just a little bit. So it's just can you increase the font size? Okay, so it's just some data with countries, locations.
Exactly.
Good.
Yeah, so this data is about the pandemics we are facing now, so it's about the number of cases by country. I have it on GitHub. The links will be on the slides that will be shared by Karina.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm grabbing the URL to this data. But here's the data in better formatted in GitHub. So now I'm going to Business Central. I'm going to Datasets. I'm going to create a new one. And this data is formatted as CSV, so I will select the CSV dataset. I will name here. I'm sorry for talking about COVID again, but that was the first data I found. I know that you are all tired of hearing about this, but that's the data I had prepared. So now I just add the URL for the CSV, and as I say, Dashbuilder will go to that CSV and we can configure caching. The first time it's a little slow because it's going to the server, but here's my data. I have country, I have the latitude for that country, the longitude, I have the number itself and the location in a different way. Here I can do some caching. Let me see how many rows I have. So let me turn on here the cache for 500 rows. Now, okay, I created my data set. So here it is. So let's consume this data set. So let's go to pages. I have no page yet, so let me create one here. So that may seem small, but I will try to create a big page. Okay, so I have my data. Let me add a title to it. And we have this component that's not a report component, but it's a piece of HTML that you can place in our page. So let's, for example, let's start. I create a bar chart that shows the number of cases, for example, for let's select here country region, recent data. So, okay, let me add the so I have a lot of countries, as you can see here. That's why it's showing a little message. Let me increase. Okay, it's a lot of data. But let's say that I only want to show Brazil, so I can filter here and make it equals to. Okay, so this is the data for Brazil. Let's say that I want also, I don't know, other country, let's say. Okay, let me just keep Brazil. So I went to the data, I put here on a chart. Let me try something more exciting. So let me add this data to a map. Let me add here recent data. Okay, so we have all the COVID data in a map. So see here, let me remove the title. So this is the data you saw in that CSV. It's now clear to see in a map without doing programming, without doing any, crazy thing and learning any API or things like that. So I just had to come here and add it to a map, just dragging stuff and doing things like that. As I said, we have filtering capability, so let me drag a filter here. Let me add country here. Remove the title. Anyway, the things I could spend all the day here. So I can turn on filtering for this component. Let me listen to others. Okay, so let me search here for Brazil or any other country. You can see now that it can filter that data here. Probably I'm not doing, okay, I know what's happening. That's something with the component here. Okay. Anyway, so this is how you do. You drag your displayers. You find the best way to display data, and you drag to the page, and then you can start exploring the data. Once your work is done, you can save it. Then you go to data transfer, and you can export the page and the data sets you want. So here I just create one data set. I don't know if it's visible, but the data set I created previously, and also the page. If I had more pages, it would show here. And then I can download a zip file to consume this dashboard in, for example.
I'm really curious what you're going to do with this zip file, because you've been mentioned this a couple of times already.
Exactly. So yeah, so let's say I do export the zip file. I will introduce you where you can run it. The first place you can run it is in Business Central itself. So let me do something crazy here. Let me try to import a file here. Crazy because I didn't test this, so if we have an error, I didn't talk to the demo goats. Oops. Okay, so probably my machine is dead now because I'm running a lot of things. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, let me try to import the dashboard just to show you. I know that this is crazy because I didn't, test it. So I have this dashboard here. Let me upload and then import.
That's how it gets fun. Like just live, unexpected stuff. Yeah, just go for it.
Exactly. I have a lot of things running in my local machine. So yeah, I imported that. So if we go here, we have all the pages I imported. So this is about the wildfire in Brazil. So we have here a page. This is fetching a lot of data from GitHub, as I say. So there's a lot of things going on here. So yeah, I import my page here. I can edit it again, and then I can export again, run inside Business Central. But what I want to talk to you now
Wait.
is about another.
Before you go to the next step, William.
Sure.
So, you can, I can just create all this stuff in my environment if I am a developer, and then if I need to promote it to the other environments, then I need to export it and then import it again on the other environment, even if it is the Business Central or a standalone component that you're probably going to talk about. Is this okay? Thank you.
Exactly. You can do all your work in Business Central and then create a specific zip file with anything you want to publish to other environment. Another event, it is either Business Central itself or this standalone Dashbuilder or Dashbuilder Runtime. So this is a Dashbuilder Runtime is a lightweight web application that you can import these zip files. And it's the difference about Dashbuilder Runtime and Business Central is that Dashbuilder Runtime is only focused on dashboards. So you don't have process management, you don't have all the good stuff from Business Central, because what we wanted to do is have this only to run dashboards. So this is for running your dashboards that you export from Business Central. And why this is important to have this tool? First of all, because it's lightweight, you can easily embed it in third-party applications. So let's say that you develop your dashboard in Business Central and you put it on Dashbuilder Runtime, but now you want to show, for example, in your company website, you can run Dashbuilder Runtime and then embed the dashboards inside your application. And also, if you want to run multiple dashboards, as we'll show soon, you can do this. You can have how many dashboards you want in the same Dashbuilder Runtime. Of course, if you had like 1,000 dashboards, you may suffer a little with performance, but usually each dashboard has its own context, so it's isolated from each other, so you won't have this kind of issues with performance, because only if you don't have big caches, or you are not using a lot of things from your dashboard, it should not impact the other. And yeah, you can import a lot of dashboards, and it is, since it's a lightweight web application, we can distribute it with in a Docker environment, in a Kubernetes ready environment. So we built some community image that you can check on my quay.io. And we also build a lot of cloud demos that we'll be showing in a few minutes. And cloud demos, I mean that technologies that use, containers and Docker Compose and can run Kubernetes and things like that. Yeah, and we have also a lot of data. We are trying to put together a lot of data to build public dashboards. So some sample data can be found on my GitHub. And also we have a build from the master, and stable build that is on live on this server here, appcom.com.br. But you can go now there and access it to see some community dashboards. So bear in mind that this is not, this is only for demo purpose. So it's we are pushing this to the limits, and also the server is not, the latest one, but you can come here to see some of the dashboards. And right now,
you created a set of dashboards in the community, in your local community, to explore some data and using the Dashbuilder functionality that you just showed to us. That's correct?
Exactly. So exactly, we have this community server, so it's not, it does not have a lot of resource. So I think it's 1 gig of RAM, things like that. So it's a small server, but we try to put here a community dashboard. So you can go here, you can see, for example, some data about Pokemon, which is still being developed, and this is all built with Dashbuilder. So we can cross.
Are you kidding? That image is also part of everything that we are able to build?
Exactly.
That's
you can do anything you want. So here we have two different data sources, one for the image and the other with the Pokemon data. And this I just developed, I was just modifying the style of this so it's not stable. But the good thing is that you can have just two different data sources talking about the same data. So Dashbuilder is good for that. And one thing for Pokemon, data nerds like me, is that you can see every data about your Pokemon here. I actually have a bigger dashboard, but I decided not to put online because it was a really big one. It would be more confused. But for example, if you want to see the water Pokemon that's from 4th generation that has the best attack, you just come here. The weakest one is Magikarp, but the strongest one is Gyarados from the 4th generation, and you can explore data like that using Dashbuilder.
I will have to show this to my kid. He will love to explore that and play with his friends.
Yeah, my son loved this because he said he was watching Pokemon and say, put this Pokemon image at the thing you are doing. So I built this for him. He wanted to see the Pokemon image. That's why we have the Pokédex there. Awesome. So yeah, this is a public data, so it's fun to explore any kind of data. So even if you don't have business process or some serious data, some business data, you can do Dashbuilder. You can explore some data sets in the web. For example, you can go to kaggle.com and you will find a lot of data set about anything you want, and you can build your own data sets using Dashbuilder. So yeah, so feel free to go there, and if it is not running smoothly, that's because, as I said, we are pushing this to the limits. We are adding a lot of data. We have a lot of access to this small server, but it's fun to explore data about not business dashboards. You can see also Pokemon and things like that. But yeah, so moving on, let me go back to, okay, so let me start this. I forgot. I should have started this and should have stopped this. Okay, so moving on, what I'm going to show you now is a business dashboard, a real-time business dashboard. And because Dashbuilder Runtime is lightweight, we can have actual real-time dashboard. So it is starting right now, and let me show you what I'm going to start.
You're going too fast, man. I didn't even know. I couldn't even see the comment that you just ran. Did you just like do Java minus jar? Was it Wildfly? What did you just run there in the terminal?
Good question. So sorry for being fast. So let me show you what I just ran here. So I just show here this public dashboard that anyone can access, and with cool public data sets, and also some not so cool but some useful data sets. You can go there and explore. And as I said, my machine is really slow because I'm running a lot of things. And now I'm going to show you another demo. And this demo is it is showing business process that runs inside KeyServer, which is the execution server for jBPM. And it retrieves data from there, and it shows in real time what is happening inside Business Central, inside KeyServer, using Dashbuilder Runtime. And I have here this repository where you can find everything about the demo. And the command I just showed was to start this compose file here. So I have a compose file that allows me to declare a lot of different images and how these images talks to each other. So in this compose file, I'm starting KeyServer, and I am also starting Dashbuilder Runtime. Okay, let me go here. I think there's an image here. No, this is very old image, but you can get the idea. So I have KeyServer here. It goes to an author. It is accessed by an author environment. In my case, I use this web app, but it is like Business Central. And also KeyServer is accessed by Dashbuilder Runtime. And inside KeyServer, we are running business process. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show now. And about the command I run, so let me go back to my command line. So the command I run was basically a compose to start the demo I just showed you guys. So yeah, I hope it's running now. So let me go here to this server, and I say this server is running our business process. So we have business process running here. Basically, two business processes. One is the well-known community evaluation process, and the other is the mortgage process. We'll be seeing this in a minute. And in this other server, what I have is Dashbuilder Runtime, and Dashbuilder Runtime will access that server to retrieve data. So we have dashboards for. That's because my password is very simple. So we have the evaluation process running on KeyServer, and we also have the mortgage process running on KeyServer. Okay, so let's put some data to see this.
This is the same tooling, and you added some pages and components on there. Like it's the same Dashbuilder component.
Exactly.
Connected to a KeyServer.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is Dashbuilder. I exported the zip file from Business Central, and I already imported this on my runtime. So let me show you the file system. I hope it's good to see. So I have here these two zip files that were exported from Business Central, and I made a configuration here on compose file to read these zip files from my local file system. I built a volume to access the zip files. So that's how, when I do access Dashbuilder Runtime here, this Dashbuilder Runtime, it can read the two zip files and install here, so I can see the dashboard I created earlier. So to show you um, how Dashbuilder Runtime can be used to monitor key server, retrieve business metrics in real time from key server, I will run here a script that will create a few evaluations. So what I'm talking about here, so we have this very simple process that comes with jBPM samples, and this process is basically about an employee evaluation. So the employee have, first of all, to evaluate himself, and then this process splits in two other tasks where the product manager will evaluate the employee, and the human resource will also evaluate the same employee, and then the process finishes. So what I will run in here, evaluation. So what I'm going to run here is a script that is a robot to start a lot of evaluation. So this Dashbuilder Runtime going to key server to see the state of the process, and according to the data, it knows how many tasks are pending, which means that how many tasks were not completed, and also it can show for you in real time where the process is stopped right now. What are the time that's more? What the tasks are taking more time the process at the moment? Or the tasks that are the stops are stopped at the moment. So you can see here in real time some tasks are stopped at PM evaluation, HR evaluation. Others there are no tasks on self-evaluation, and you can see here as well that self-evaluation tasks have finished, and you can see how many hits the process have at the moment. So you can see how many users are interacting with your process at that moment, and this is the real-time stage of your process. So after you finish a lot of process, you can also go here and then see business metrics. So for example, we have this dashboard where you can inspect every employee and see how he evaluates or she evaluates himself or herself. So in this case here, Bill evaluate himself with a 5, but we can also I think here, yeah, the HR evaluation was 9. PM evaluation, I think it didn't stop. It stopped because there was my script. It fails sometimes just to see that it can show where all the processes are stopped. So anyway, so there was no PM evaluation, and you can also see self-evaluation. So for example, Bill evaluated himself with a 2, and Jean with a 2, Carmen with a 2, Liz evaluated with 5. Anyway, so we have real-time dashboards, but we can also have static dashboards with the previous execution. So we can also build summaries of how the process went. So of course, according to your process, you have your own KPIs, but in this case, we created this small dashboard that shows you some KPIs regarding the duration of the evaluation process. So you can see how many processes were finished, how many processes were started. So we started 7, we finished 2, and we have 5 ongoing, and these are the PM ones that I told you that are, my script intentionally stopped doing this evaluation. So we can see that we have 5 that are pending on PM, and we can see also the duration. These are all data retrieved from key server and then displayed on Dashbuilder Runtime. And another demo, we have the mortgage process that's more focused on the First of all, I will show you my script. So I have this script here that will start a lot of mortgage processes. The Java client application access key server. So this is a Java code, but it could be your third-party application accessing key server. So let me run it. So you see here that it starts a lot of mortgage process, but again, this script, it's not to finish all the process with success. It will try to stop more time in a few tasks in order so we can see it in the dashboard. So this script, some tasks will take more time than others. So let's go to Dashbuilder Runtime to see what's going on. So yeah, okay. So while the script is running, you can see here that the tasks hit are changing. So we can retrieve some useful information about the business process. So for example, you can see that this final approval task here, I think, okay, not so much, okay. This final approval task here, it does not have more hits than, for example, qualify. However, when we analyze the average execution time, we can see the final approval is taking much more time, even having less hits than the other tasks like qualify. So imagine that if you have a process that's taking too long, you can use a Dashbuilder Runtime to retrieve what exactly is going wrong with the process, what exactly is taking too long. And from this quick overview, we can see that the final approval takes more time. So having this information in mind, you can, for example, hire someone to do the final approval, someone to speed this process, or you can talk to the person that is responsible for this and find out why it's taking too long. Another thing that is very interesting about this dashboard is that you can see that correct data here. This test here is not, been there's not a lot of hits that see that the process is not going here too much. But in the other hand, you can see that it's taking more time than, for example, tasks that have more hits like qualify. So what of business value that you can retrieve from here is that, for example, you need to improve your web form where users need to correct the data. So, with this simple dashboard, we retrieve a lot of information about the process. So that's what Dashbuilder Runtime is able to do it. Using any visualization you want, you can go to key server and then build your KPIs, which are the key performance indicators, and then find what is wrong with your business. So that's why we bring support, we brought support for external components, and we also created Dashbuilder Runtime because you can, do this kind of analysis in real time. You don't have to wait too long to run the dashboards. It can keep pulling data from key server and then build the visualization one. And with components, we have the heat map that was built by the community using the components API, but you could, for example, have any kind of visualization that you think that is valuable for your business. So yeah, that's basically it. So that's the idea behind the Dashbuilder Runtime. So first of all, it's cloud. You can use it containers. It's fast. It's embeddable, so you can bring to your application, and you can use any kind of visualization that you judge important for your process. For example, I was asked a while ago by someone that works with jBPM how we could see what tasks are taking too long to finish and are too much access and takes too long. So I talked to this person that probably Quad 3 could help. So we have this kind of visualization. The person is taking a look to build his own component with this, but we can bring, oops, this is the link that I wanted. We can bring any visualization we want inside Dashbuilder. I don't have this because, this was a very specific, and this is one cool thing about Dashbuilder. You can build any visualization that is specific to your company. So this person is taking a look at this kind of visualization to see if he can put here all the tasks that is running on jBPM to see if the task is here, there is a lot of hits and it's taking too long. If the task is here, there's a lot of hits, but it's not taking too long anyway. So this is like the kind of information that you can visualize using the external component. So I think that's basically it. I think Karina will be sharing the slides with you so you can access all these links later.
That's great. And thank you for these awesome demos and very clarifying capabilities that you showed from Dashbuilder for us.
Actually, I have a question myself. So I saw that you had a page with a heat map, which is something new in the Dashbuilder. Could you align and just have a page with data sets that are bringing stuff from key server and different data sets that are bringing data from, for example, CSV and other sources?
Yeah, that's possible. At this moment, this heat map is an external component, and I am bringing data from key server, but you could, for example, bring data from CSV and add other, SVG to have the hits drawn on it. So if we have time, I can do other.
Just before we go, I have one question.
Sure.
So you've been talking about the export of zip file. That's fantastic. But I have a question. It would be possible, do we have the APIs to connect these generation files and import using a pipeline? Like, do we have APIs to import the thing?
Yes. Sorry. Yes, we can. We can use Dashbuilder REST API. So Dashbuilder, it has a REST API where you can check all the models you have, but you could also do a post to the same URL and then import dashboard. So you can use REST API to export from Business Central and then import into Dashbuilder Runtime using the REST API.
That's great.
Pretty exciting. Thanks, William, for sharing all this knowledge. This is pretty nice. Looking forward to seeing this more and more used in customers and projects around the globe.
Me too.
Good. So since I don't see questions here on the chat, what I'll tell our folks, if you are watching this later, not right now during our live streaming, you can join us and find us on the Zulip chat. We are always there. We have more people from the community also hanging out there. We can just brainstorm, talk about anything you want about business automation. And thank you, William, for joining us today. We'll get your slide to make it available on the GitHub link that I just shared with folks on the chat too, this one. And I think that's it.
Yeah, and I think, Karina, we may schedule next one follow-up session with William, because I really want to learn how to build these custom components. So it's a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
Would you do it with us later, William? We'll have a chat with you. Let's see. Let's talk about it.
Sure thing, we can. And we will also, we have documentation that is on the jBPM documentation, official documentation, but we have also a lot of blog posts to come talking about everything I said here in more details. But I can come back and show how to build custom components. That will be a pleasure.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, William. Wish you have a great day and a great week. Bye-bye. Porcelli, I'll see you again next Tuesday, right?
Sure. I can wait for our next guest.
Brilliant. Good. So thank you all for being here with us today. I'll see you again next Tuesday here on the Key Community channel. And stay tuned because we publish our events always via Eventbrite. So if you want to know everything that's going on around the Key community, just I'll share the link here on this YouTube subtitles later. So thank you. Thank you, Porcelli. The other side.